This conference will now be recorded.
Here we go. All right, it's 7 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order.
Yeah, hi, this is Pete Basher calling in.
Oh, all right. Thanks, Pete.
7 p.m. we call the Inland Wetlands meeting to order. First order of business is approval of minutes of the last meeting. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? Are there any corrections, additions, deletions?
I'll make a motion to approve minutes, Mr. Chairman.
A second.
Have a motion. We have a second.
Yes, second. Angela
Motion by McCann, second by
Caponera.
Caponera.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let's say everyone
Aye.
opposed. All right. Takes care of that. Old business, we have no old business. New business. 4-lot residential subdivision on Peters Lane. Address Peters Lane, assessors map reference 5019, block 2, lot 19, application, Jeremy Holdings. The applicant has submitted the following documents. There's a whole list of documents that have been submitted on this. We talked about this last month. So, question is, at least according to Kelly, as I read this and I believe this, we have more information that's a request. Kelly, would you like to chime in?
Sure. I don't know if you guys would like as well, but Dave Bjorklund, the engineer for the project to represent the applicant, he's also on the call. I didn't know if you'd want him to give a brief summary of the project.
That's absolutely, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Before I start, I just have to say hi, Bill. How have you been?
Oh, haven't seen you in a few years, huh, Dave?
Yeah, it tends to go that way. Yeah, members of
Okay. Excuse me. Before we go any further, Dave Bjorklund,
yes,
you probably don't remember me, but your father did, up at Johnny's Garage on Whitney Avenue.
all right. Yes, I do remember that. Yep. And we had a conversation about this a couple of years ago. I think when I was
That's right.
doing 335 Ferry Boulevard. Wow, I forgot about that. You know, just another aside. Speaking of Johnny's Garage, I sold my house in Trumbull, and when I moved into an apartment, I had a lot of old photos. And before they tore down the ice house and Johnny's Garage and, you know, ran 25 through the area, I took some photos because I knew what was coming, and I just forwarded them to the Trumbull Historical Society. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, what a trip down memory lane that was to find those old photos. Yeah. That's, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Carry on.
thank you, members of the commission. My name's Dave Bjorklund. I'm president of the firm of Svath Bjorklund Associates, and we've got offices in Monroe, and I'm a professional engineer registered in the state of Connecticut. I'll just give a brief overview. This is a 4-lot subdivision on Peters Lane. I would imagine all the commissioners are familiar with the piece. The proposal that we have in front of you is for the 4 lots ranging from 1.2 acres to 3.3 acres, with a little over an acre proposed to be deeded to the town for open space. That piece is contiguous to the Roosevelt Forest piece, so that's a good fit. The resources, to the north, northeast, and northwest of this property, there is a wetland. The wetland is associated with Cemetery Pond Brook, which flows northeast of the property and then kind of wraps around to the east and forms the easterly boundary. The lots are to be served by on-site wells and septic systems, and practically the entire piece is considered regulated uplands. The pieces that aren't regulated aren't worth talking about. They're very minor. In the process of preparing in the last month to 6 weeks, preparing the application, we had retained Davison Environmental, which was the successor firm to Environmental Planning Services. Mike Klein was the principal soil scientist in that firm, and Kelly had asked for some additional information, and when Mike went out to look at the site, he remembered from 10 years ago 2 things: that there was a possibility of a vernal pool that he had reported on the sort of on the northwest side of the proposal, and he had also indicated to me that he had reported a hit on box turtles to the NDDB, which were 2 things that we weren't anticipating. We had a conference call with Kelly, and we decided that as soon as possible we would do the evaluation of the vernal pools. However, spring this year, by my estimation, is 3 weeks later than last year, at least. We're still not seeing egg masses when you go out in the woods, and the hit on the box turtles was confirmed by DEEP. So what we had talked about with those 2 items is we would get out and do the evaluation on the possibility of the vernal pool as soon as that happened. And I spoke with Davison Environmental this afternoon, and they're thinking that maybe in the next week or 2 they'll be able to identify just what the potential is for the vernal pool. So I would like to, we'll be, for the April meeting, we'll have a detailed report on both what the proposed mitigation is for the box turtles and the possible existence of a vernal pool, if one exists, and a mitigation plan, or if one is required for the vernal pool. The other thing that Kelly and I had discussed in the last week or 2 was she indicated that the commission would like to have a landscaping plan for each lot. And that was sort of, I'm used to defining an area of disturbance and then making sure that the homeowner works within that and comes back to the commission with a detailed plan as to how they want to develop the lot. Kelly indicated that this commission would like to have a landscaping plan for each lot, and we will submit that within the next 2 weeks for the commission's evaluation. So that's a quick overview of the application and where we sit today with the application. I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions?
I have a question, Dave.
You can.
In my past treks through that area, it looks like there's a significant amount of bedrock that's in the area. Have you made an evaluation of how much rock work is going to be required? One of the problems in that area is there's, and I could be wrong, but at least in very close areas, there's a type of rock called gneiss, G-N-E-I-S-S, and it's actually called pumpkin ground gneiss. which has an extremely high pyrite content, which has fractured, has very adverse effects on the groundwater and the runoff in terms of iron content. Have you had anybody take a look at that, or can somebody take a look at that to make an evaluation?
I'm familiar with gneiss. I'm not familiar with the pumpkin ground gneiss, and the issues with iron. No, we hadn't taken a look at it, but I'll have somebody take a look at it, and I'll be able to report back to you at the next meeting.
That would be good.
Anything else?
Well, you said that you're going to have a biology. One of the things, Kelly, has he seen all the bullets that you sent us in terms of additional information required?
Yeah, we've been going, both myself and Dave have been going back and forth with questions and answers and seeking additional information. So most of that he has seen.
All of those bullets, requirements would be necessitated in the application. I feel before we can consider it a complete application.
I have a question. I did have a question, but I forgot to write it down. Usually I sit and mark off. If I have it, can I just email Ms. Kerrigan? If I remember what it was. Oh, I know what it was. If you go in with the construction and find box turtles, are you going to stop, or do you have plans to move them?
The mitigation plans that I'm familiar with box turtle is the entire site is surrounded with silt fence, and then there's daily inspections done within the silt fence itself to see if there are any box turtles that are found, and if there are, they are found within the construction site, then they're relocated.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, we'll have a written plan for the box turtles at the next meeting.
And who would be doing the relocating?
We haven't selected an individual yet. That's usually happens prior to the construction. Select an individual, train the individual, and have him report to the biologist if he does find anything on the site.
So in other words, it's one of the construction workers?
No, the last project that we did, it was somebody from my firm on his way into work every morning. He walked the site, and over a 18-month period, we never found a box turtle, but he would report in. Yeah, we haven't, in this case, it could be somebody in my office. I've got somebody who lives in Milford who could easily stop by the site on as required.
Okay.
Anything else?
No,
Okay.
I'm all set.
I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
No, I've completed my presentation.
All right, so seems to me you probably need a motion to table this until next month.
Absolutely. I will make that motion to table this till next month.
I'll second.
Motion, Mr. McCann, second.
I'll second.
Angela, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none? All right, Dave, we'll see you next month.
All right, thank you, folks. Have a good evening.
You too.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay, now, moving on, we have staff report. What do you got, Kelly?
All right, so all the information from the, and edits from the bylaws are still with the town attorney's office. Things take a little bit of time sometimes, so I know she is working through her review and is nearly complete, but is not fully there yet, so I will keep on Pat for that. But we are under no regulatory deadline to do that. That was just kind of a housekeeping measure anyway. I am working on a few performance bond releases, so I thought I would list them all out because there's a lot of them. One for the 2-lot subdivision on Lindquist that has been constructed. They have a few outstanding items that they still need to get to me. And then the same with all the Nicky Lane, the 4 lots that were constructed on Nicky Lane over the past year. Those are all completely constructed and purchased, and people are already living in them, which crazy timelines. Same with Lindquist, people are already moving into that. So it's great to see that the housing market's doing well. But I have a lot of performance bonds to process. So I'm waiting for information on all 5 of those applications, and then I will be getting those over to you. And then, oh, we did have one enforcement action during the past month. The project at 450 James Farm Road that we permitted at the end of last year. The way that that lot is positioned, there is someone that can see everything that's going on. So they did clear cut most of the property that they were supposed to, that they were authorized to clear cut with, but they had not put silt fencing in. They claimed that they couldn't get back in there, and I told them that that's a significant permit modification, and they can't just do that. So I issued them essentially a warning. I gave them 7 days to get silt fencing in, and they did get silt fencing in. So that's fine, but I am keeping a little bit of a closer watch on that project, and I told them I am, and so is the entire neighborhood. So it was a little unfortunate. I was a little disappointed, but we're moving forward, and they're moving forward with that project as well. I did want to let you know, I didn't put this in my memo, but on that same project, it has come to light that there's no public water in that area, and they are looking to figure that out. They aren't permitted for, we didn't permit a well for them. So if they do have to put a private well in there, they're gonna have to come back before the commission for a permit modification. So I just kind of wanted to put that on your radar. So we're following that construction project a little more closely than others at the moment. And that's all I have.
Okay. Any administrative permits?
I'm on the verge, I'm working on a few, but I don't have any applications, and I'm talking to a lot of folks that are looking to put pools and fences and all kinds of fun things on their properties. So other than that, nothing that I've issued in the past month.
Okay. Commissioners Forum, anything you guys want to bring up? Number 8 on the agenda. Adjournment.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Dennis, make a motion to adjourn. You have a second?
I'll second it.
Bill McCann seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, this is pretty good. We had a meeting with Kerrigan and Fay on St. Patrick's Day. It appears to be fairly lucid.
Really, the Irish should be celebrating today.
Good night.
Okay, good night.